Hey YouTubers, this is Hike with Mike, doing my second fireside chat. Still recovering, lots of pain, limited mobility after my surgery, and it's been raining the past couple of days, so I had to make some adjustments. I'm alone today, so I had no one to make me a fire outside, and it's been raining anyway. So I've got a bootleg fireside chat today using one of the Amish fireplace heaters. They do a good job. So this will be my bootleg fireside chat in my garage, which is my man cave and my area where I keep a lot of my gear and things like that. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about a couple of things. I wanted to talk about later on recognizing a couple of channels that they maybe have like about 50 subscribers, and I wanted to give them a little bit more recognition. I hope they want the recognition. You know, sometimes the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And one of my favorite sayings has always been, like so many things in life, less is more. And maybe they're happy with the lower subscriptions, but I'm just going to recognize them, and hopefully they'll like the recognition, or if they let me know, and I'll try to delete them from this video if they don't want the recognition. I perfectly understand that. Sometimes people just like a smaller circle of friends, and I'm certainly that way in a lot of ways. When it comes to personal, close friends, I just have a small, probably I could count on one hand and still have fingers left over of close personal friends and things like that. And I think that's for most people. When things happen, you find out who your friends are, and you have lots of friends, but when it comes down to it, you have family, and probably just good friends that probably fit on one hand, the fingers on one hand. But anyway, today's topic is a couple of my favorite camp out experiences I had, and then I want to recognize a couple of people too. Kind of do the Yule log thing here for a little bit. My best camping trip, the most memorable camping trip actually, was when I was still city slicker. It was in the late 80s. 20-something, and it was that time where we all go through where your friends that you hung out in high school, or some are moving on to their careers, some are off to college, some are getting married, some are moving away, and it's a winter time. I want to say maybe 1987, and we all decided to go for a camping trip, and I think subconsciously we all knew that this really might be the last time we all get together and do something together, because that's a tumultuous time in life. It's a scary time for young people, where what am I going to do with my life type of situation, and escape and go in the woods is a good thing. So we just did some car camping. I think we all piled into my one buddy's Toyota pickup truck, 3 in the truck, and the rest of us stuck in the back, and we just went up car camping to the Croom section of the Withlacoochee State Forest, and we had a little area where the river was, and we set up camp and kind of escaped during sunset, because back then I used to write a lot and journals, and we were all, pretty much most of us, were really into music, or were musicians ourselves, so I would always go off and maybe write some poetry or some lyrics for a song or something like that, that never came to fruition. But it was nice just sitting by the river watching the sunset in the wintertime, and writing down some thoughts and things like that. But what made it so memorable is, like I said, just car camping, hot dogs and hamburgers. But since a lot of us were into music, or musicians themselves, someone brought out a guitar at some point, just an acoustic, and he started playing some songs, And a lot of songs, we were like, oh, I don't know that song, or you know that song. And they started playing the Eagles' Seven Bridges Road. And all of us knew that song. And it was just like one of those just like magical moments. He started playing that, we're all singing along. And we probably weren't in harmony, and if someone was listening to it, they probably thought it was horrible. But to me, at that time, it was almost magical. It's like we were all in perfect harmony just singing that song. And that was cool. That was good medicine. Really neat. And we had a good night. We looked horrible. We looked like a bunch of, I have a couple of photographs, like a bunch of hobos in flannel and our hair all disheveled and stuff. But that was a good time. Just, I'll always remember that. And I think it was just because of the time in our lives. Everyone's going to go through that at some point, that had good friends, childhood friends, and it's time to move on. And you kind of almost know this will probably be the last time we'll be together like this, because time moves on and you get family and you move off, and time changes everything, and that's pretty much how it was. But subconsciously, I think we knew that, and we knew this was a special moment, and that's what made that camping trip, even though it was car camping, which I've got more gung-ho and I like to do my solo camping a lot. It was good stuff. It really was. And then the other one that was special to me, I went to college, got into work, and I kind of was away from camping and hiking for a while until about 5 or 6 years ago when I started to get back into it. And I decided to do my first solo, completely by myself hiking trip. Drove up to Providence Canyon, Georgia. And what was cool about that is I had the whole place to myself. The ranger just had like a slip of paper for the registration, and I had that place to myself, and it was great. It was awesome. It was, if you've never been to Providence Canyon, it's almost like a miniature Grand Canyon. It's this huge canyon, not on the scale of the Grand Canyon, obviously, and it was all caused by bad farming practices and erosion, but it's a really neat place. Camped out there, had the whole place to myself. And then the next day I was moving on to Mount Cheaha in Alabama in the Talladega State Forest. And I had another awesome experience, had the whole campsite to myself. It was a real windy night. It was one of those blood moon nights, so I got to see that huge bloody moon coming up over the sky. And I wish I would have had better video at that time. At that point I was like doing more photographs, and I don't really have a lot of great video evidence of both of those trips, but in my heart I do, and in my mind. But and that really turned me on to, I love the solo hikes. I like to get out by myself a lot. There's just something special about that. But anyway, I want to recognize a couple of YouTubers that I really enjoy. And there's a lot of YouTube channels I have that I like a lot, and they have lots and lots of subscribers. That's why I'm really not focusing on them. But they know who they are because I talk a lot with them. I converse with them. I'll throw out a couple: Sleeves and Smelling Roses, and I'm probably leaving people off, so I shouldn't do this, but Ozzy Reinhardt. Those just come to mind right now, but there's others, and a lot of others that always have contact with. But I want to focus on the couple of people who have lesser subscribers today. And the first one is, he's 1/3 of my hiking trio, and you've probably seen, if you watch my channel, I mention him a lot. And that would be the famous Campfire Steve. And the reason why I have these little bootleg things here is it's very painful for me to sit down, and I'm not going to be able to edit this video a lot because it's just too painful. I can't sit down, I can't bend over. So that is the person, if you're interested in checking out Campfire Steve. And also I want to thank him. I got this in the mail today. He sent me this YouTube hat. I got it in the mail today, which was awesome, so thank you very much on that. Like I said, he's 1/3 of our hiking trio, and I wish the Swamp Camper would eventually get some videos too, but he's not very tech savvy. But all right, we're goofy, we have fun, and we have a lot of goofy times, but also like to hike and be serious at the same time too, kind of a mix between goofiness and seriousness. And so he's definitely there with check out his channel. I think he has about 50 subscribers or so, but I'm sure he would definitely be willing to accept some more and be excited about that. And my other subscriber is Tony Hyde. I want to say he only has about 30 subscribers, and I don't know why, because I really like his channel a lot. When I was in the hospital, he was doing the Lone Star Trail, and I'm just laid up in bed, bored out of my mind, and I enjoyed watching his trips. He's got a good down-home Texas style. He considers himself just an old working-class folk, and great stories, great to listen to him. It's almost like when you watch him, it's like hiking with an old friend. Really, really cool guy, Tony Hyde. You type that in, and if it's in Texas, that's him. He kept me entertained a lot during my time in the hospital. He even, how cool is this? I've got my little man cave that I have in the garage, which half the time is filled up with stuff. People, oh, can we keep this here in the garage and stuff, and it's always never organized. Then I have this little area here with camping stuff. Tony has a hiking room dedicated to all kinds of gear and stuff like that. So I would recommend checking out these two channels, Campfire Steve and Tony Hyde. And like I said, there's so many channels I could recognize, and in the future I definitely will recognize them, but I just wanted to give a couple of these channels that have a smaller subscriber base and recognize them. And in the future I'll definitely recognize many of the channels that I really love, and I'm sure I left someone off, and I apologize for that, just mentioning a couple off the top of my head. But check out these two channels and reflect on some of your best camping memories. You know, I haven't thought about that camping trip when I was a youngster, you know, and reflecting on it. I think really subconsciously that was a great trip, because I think we all knew this is going to be the last time we'd be camping and stuff like that, and it made it magical. And that's about all my rants and raves and discussion on week 2 of my Fireside chats, and hopefully I'll get my staples removed soon, and I'll be able to move around more and get back to living. And I'll leave you with the Bootleg Fire today. Thanks for